top eight mods for going off-road in your car. Okay guys, Steve here from Australian 4x4 Adventures again, and as I said, now we're talking about my top 8 best modifications for my car, your car, any four-wheel drive really, I reckon, my opinion. Now to some of you this might be a little bit simple, but for beginners and someone trying to set up their car it might be really useful. So hopefully it's a mixture for everyone to get to have something out of this. So number one for me, modification wise, as soon as you get a four-wheel drive, for me, to help in four-wheel drive applications, tyres. First thing, tyres will get you further than nearly anything else that you will do. More than lift, more than lockers, more than winch, everything else. Maybe not a winch, because winch will get you everywhere. Tyres are generally the key. They stop punctures from happening from the road tyres. They give you a heap more traction in the mud. Sidewalk construction is a whole lot better because they're stronger. Number one, tyres. Suspension is number 2. I run King suspension under mine. I reckon it's one of the best suspension setups out there. The reason why suspension is number 2 is the fact that it helps a lot with your off-road handling. The factory suspension isn't too bad with these things, but one, nothing rides like King, and just for extra wheel travel on those high-speed gravel dirt roads, it just sits there beautifully. There's no drift out of it. It's just fantastic. So just for safety reasons, I'd always say suspension should be number 2 on your list. Number 3 would be UHF. Communication is key out in the bush, and obviously just anything in convoys, whether you're out back or out the bush, or travelling down to the shops with your mate and they're behind you and you want to talk crap on the radio on the way. There's a whole bunch of reasons why you'd have a UHF. Pretty much all the new ones these days are just face ones like this. The unit gets hidden away fairly well. Mine's hidden up under here, so it's all out of the way. They're all pretty much a digital 80 channel these days. They're pretty rare to get the 40 channels one anymore. Mine's a Uniden. I quite like it. There's a whole bunch out there. Just sometimes comes down to style and what you like, what you don't. I reckon these are great because they've got private channels programmable on them. So a few of my mates have got the same one, so we just program the same channel and no one else can talk on it but us. That's number 3. Number 4 is bar work. Protection. If you're doing a lot of outback travelling and stuff like that, there's going to be a lot of animal strikes, potential animal strikes. Decent bullbar on the front there is going to save the vital components of the motor to keep going. Also gives you places to mount lights, winches, aerials, all that sort of stuff as well. So I'd say bar work is my number 4 on the list. That also includes a rear bar as well, sort of helps protection that way, especially in these things because you can get the tyre out from underneath, you can mount it up under the back. I've got dual jerry can holders on the back there as well, so I can hold water and stuff at the same time. In addition to, on bar work wise, I'd say side steps as well come under bar work. Just sill protection and everything else. I've given mine a fair hiding already. They've paid for themselves from the first trip out, otherwise it would have been fixing sills and that would have been thousands overall. So number 4, bar work. Right, number 5, still at the front of the car again, winch. I thought about putting this high on the list, but it's more of it's a recovery item, so it's only really for more advanced people who are putting themselves in a situation where they're going to need to have a winch. So for me, winch is down the track a little bit. Probably shouldn't be putting yourself in a position where you need a winch, and if you're a beginner four-wheel driver, you should always be out there with someone else, so it's a little bit further down the list. Decent sized winch, obviously suitable for the car. There's no point getting an undersized winch for a 3-ton car if you're only going to get a 4-ton winch. Just keep that in mind when you're buying them and go from there. So number 5, winch. There is a lot of stuff up the front of my car. Number 6, lights. Seeing at night, I do a lot of night driving, do some hunting and stuff, so getting out at night's fairly common for us. Obviously, some of the longer trips away, we're driving well into the night to get there as well. A decent set of headlights, driving lights, absolutely crucial. So my number 6 would be a decent set of lights on the front there. These are the steady LED lights. They're a mixture of spread and spot in them. I reckon they're one of the best lights I've ever had. I've had a mixture of light bars and HIDs and everything else in the past. I'd say by far the best lights I've ever had. My opinion. So number 6, lights. Get on, people. This is really tight in here. Number 7, compressor. This isn't really a modification. No, it is a modification. Because I mounted my compressor in the car, some people call it an accessory for carrying, but I mount my compressors in the cars. Every single car I've had has always had a mounted compressor. I much prefer them stowed away, permanently fixed in, that way I never forget it. For me, obviously, with every time you go for all driving, you're pretty much letting your tyres down all the time if you're a responsible four-wheel driver anyway. So, onboard compressor. Number 7, really bad with the hand thing. Onboard air, kind of have to have it. Number 8, I've really got to improve my hands. Number 8 for me, same thing, isn't necessarily something I'd bolt onto the car, but it's something I always have when I go for all driving, so I class it as something you have to have every time you go for all driving. A shovel. Never leave home without it. This thing will get you out of so much trouble. You just don't understand how much trouble you get out of with just a simple shovel. 9 times out of 10, if you absolutely have to, and yes, it's a bit of manpower, but you'll do it. You can dig your way out of 99% of situations with a bit of effort. Granted, there's a lot of effort involved in something like that. Snow, sand, rock, mud, everything you think of. Bit of blood, sweat and tears, but you'll get out eventually. Same with any sort of track, you can basically dig it out enough to be able to drive it if you have to. I'm not a big fan of digging it out unless you really have to. If you can't drive it, you probably shouldn't be there in the first place, or your car's not set up properly for it. But it is kind of a get out of jail free card with a lot of sweat. I've done it so many times, it's not funny. But I never go off-road without a shovel as well. So that is my number 8 of modifications that you need to go off-road in any sort of car, I reckon, whether it be my 200 series or something else. So there's going to be a couple of other videos as well where I'm doing a beginner's guide to full driving, so it's going to be the actual full driving side of it, so what you should and should not be doing, what you should and should not have. So that's going to cover recovery gear. That's probably one I didn't notice on this one. You're probably going to pick on me because I didn't include recovery gear in this top 8. For me, that's just a given. No matter what, if you're going off-road, you're going to have one. That's even a beginner knows that, so I figured why include something that everyone already knows anyway. I will have that in the beginner's guide though, because it's aimed towards beginners. I've got a whole bunch of things coming up as well, so it's going to be winching techniques. I've done a lot of winching in my time with all the comp stuff we've done. From beginner to advanced winching techniques, how to reverse winch as well. So that's something different. A lot of people never even think about that. There's going to be how to pick the best line for driving, so knowing where your diffs are, sort of how to pick a decent off-road full drive line. Tyre pressure tips, beginners are always a bit wary about that, so just working out tyre pressures based on your car. Obviously these things are fairly heavy, so they're actually a little bit higher than the average. And modern full drive setup, so there's a lot of technology in these things. Me coming from a GU Patrol, which is 4 litre in full drive, pretty easy. These ones are all buttons and dials and turny things and all sorts of funky things, so I'm basically going to run through how all that works. So the turn assist, the uphill ascent, the downhill descent, all the technology side of it. I'm going to see if I can put a bit of a video together based on that stuff. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and catch you on the next one. See you guys.